time, if you were to go through there and you were to click additional products and you click cancer, it'll show you exactly, you'll click the per procedure cancer plan and it'll break down every single dollar amount for every single procedure for cancer. You get $1,500 a day for anesthesia and $2,500 a day for surgery and $3,500 a day for chemo and blah, 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 and it'll give you all the breakdowns.
Nice.
And then the units right here, this is for how much is allocated per procedure. So if you're writing something like this, which isn't a part of our script, I recommend doing the max cancer plan. Otherwise, you just start to have to remember what's the 5, the 10, the 15 unit. Now you're just dealing with a lot of stuff. So just do the big one or don't do it.
Got it. So
the other one over here is the one I recommend, but you can't do this one for seniors. This is a lump sum, $50,000 for $15.25 a month. They get $50,000 immediately paid out if they're diagnosed with cancer.
Sweet.
For the one that's on the per procedure, the CNM, $300 a day for hospital, $135 to $2,250 per operation for surgery. And by the way, when you're reading this to them, you want to read it really fast, and it's going to sound like a bunch of gibberish, but it sounds like a lot. So you're just going to go like this. $300 a day for the hospital, $135 to $2,250 per operation in the emergency room or in the hospital. $300 per anesthesia per operation for anesthesia. All radiation and chemo is taken care of. $120 a day for the nursing, $60 a day for an attending physician. All blood and plasma charges are covered. All ambulance rides up to $150 per procedure needed in the ambulance. All transportation is taken care of. And then there's also some extended benefits that are if you're in the hospital for 91 days or more.
Where are you getting that info?
Pops up
An
on
outline pops up.
when you select it, it's on the forms on your EApp.
And like we know with just in general with the program, it's not about the overall dollar amount, it's the problem we're solving. So when I pitch it personally, I'm not even reading them really necessarily the numbers. I'm just telling them what it actually is covering, and then if they want the 30 unit ones or they want the 15 unit one, like which one makes more sense to you.
So this here either pays 10, 25, or 50. You let them know there's a $5 policy fee to activate it. There's a $5 policy to activate any health product. A71 as well, right?
Yes.
So don't mess with hospital indemnity or critical illness, please. Just don't. We don't write them. A71 is like the same as the hospital indemnity, except A71 is on our script, so we're gonna write that one. And then cancer, C20 is better because it's a lump sum if you can. If they're a senior, you cannot, so you have to do the CNM.
Got it.
What is the only way somebody is not qualified for cancer?
If they got cancer.
If they've ever had cancer, ever, any type, they're DQ'd. If they have not had cancer, they will qualify. If you're writing somebody without, say they have a terminal illness, like they have, kidney failure, they still qualify for cancer. It asks one medical question, which is, have you ever had cancer?
No.
No, they're qualified. The only exception is skin cancer or melanoma. They can qualify if they've had it, but it will go through trial. Any questions on that?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, so all it
Yes.
is the $50,000, that's all they can
Well,
pick.
No, that's not all they can pick. Let me back up again and repeat. 10,000, 25,000, and 50,000. Then there's also the per procedure plan, which I just read everything off. There's two different cancer plans. One of them seniors cannot have, and one of which is the lump sum.
so 50,000 is the max on
So
it.
they would get
50,000 is the max lump sum, and they can also have a per procedural one.
So they would get 30 units, so 30 procedures plus $50,000.
If
if
you wrote
you
it
did
that way.
both. And for somebody Austin's age, it would only cost $19.45 a month. The policy fees are going to go away after the first month. So he would basically have $50K immediate payout and everything covered for his treatments for $19 a month. So Austin, would you like all of your cancer covered in case you were diagnosed with a $50,000 payout to you and all procedures covered? It's going to add bump your policy up $19 a month, or did you want to keep it with just the $50,000 lump sum where it bumps it up $10 a month? Which do you prefer? It's going to be
Take
in
it all.
addition to don't ever take away other premium to add this in. This is not on the script. So you guys asked, so this is something you're adding. Well, you know,
So what if we did like he was saying, not do the A71 off the bat and add to cancer? And then come back for A71?
You'd probably come back for the cancer too.
yeah,
They're both additionals, add-ons.
yeah. So I don't really know. Personally, I don't really write them unless it's a decline or a senior. But that's just me because it's just.
So you'll do a cancer plan if you know it's an automatic decline?
Yeah, if they're not going to qualify medically, I'll write a cancer plan because they
Nice.
will qualify most likely. And if they're a policy owner, it's an easy thing to add. And if they're a senior, because we're not writing them any paycheck or accidental, it's a good thing to have on there.
What if you,
Yes, sir.
if you got the wife that doesn't qualify and he does, can we just do a cancer plan just her?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So you can. Hey, we're gonna make sure that if you're diagnosed with cancer, Gabe, that your wife receives $50,000. That's gonna cover your part, but your wife, since she's in good health, she's gonna be able to take care of the full policy that covers the rest of the expenses. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and another thing you can do with the cancer plan with seniors is you can let them know that the cancer plan comes with a $15,000. It's bundled together with a $15,000 burial benefit. This way, your burial's covered, and any treatment or anything leading up to it is taken care of as well. It's bundled together, so you can sell it together
Sweet.
as one.
Okay.
No, with seniors, you'd maybe want to tie it. As a non-senior, you'd want to make it additional. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm on the hour power right now. So I see CNM on there, 30 units. Is the C?
C20,000.
20,000, that's where they can get the $50,000.
Yep.
Okay.
And then if you click it, and on the side of your hour power, on the right side, it'll actually give you an option to click it
Okay.
once you have it added on there. Okay? Any other questions on the cancer plan?
No, sir.
What's the B2000?
I don't know.
That's another line.
Don't sell it.
Okay. Lastly, Head Start. Does anyone know how to? Does anyone not know how to do a Head Start?
I don't even know what it is. Sorry.
Yeah, what's the head start?
It's for kids, right?
It's to get them started
What?
so they're.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Whole life.
I've been adding people on 10,000 whole life, but what's the difference between that and the?
Well, that's a Head Start. If you're doing 10,000
For-
for life.
for a
Otherwise,
child,
you're
18
doing.
Yeah, I like what David said about the.
So that is a
always
head
add the-
start when we
always
do it
add
that
the
way.
WP. Where is that?
Waiver
Waiver
premium.
premium.
Alright, I'm gonna show you guys. Ready? It doesn't let you do it unless you have all the kids entered in. Your EApp will crash if you wait to add the kids in until after.
Yeah, I know I had that
It will
happen.
crash and it will shut down. So you need to do the kids off the jump to prevent it. So we go down here. Austin has to have coverage. If we select A, so we're gonna select A. We say we write Austin a typical plan of like he wants a burial, so we're gonna write him for 15,000 whole life. And terminal illness rider. We always check terminal illness rider. This is paycheck. This is accidental. This is waiver of premium, WP. So for 47 cents a month, Austin can protect himself from ever having to pay his premium if he's disabled permanently. Austin, do you want to add that or keep it off?
Let's add that.
Boom, there's an extra 5 ALP.
47 cents, you said?
Well, yeah, it's right here.
For 15,000.
So, but
47.
he's actually, well, hold on, let's pretend he had a full program. Okay, Austin has a full program now. Austin, for $2.89 a month, you can make sure that if you're ever disabled long term, you never have to pay into this again. Do you want to keep that on or leave it off?
Keep it.
Keep it, boom. 35 ALP, you just made $17. You asked one question. 17 extra dollars.
And it really
You do that
benefits
with the
them.
Head Starts, with the cancer plan, and with the waiver of premium as add-ons. So when I'm teaching this, I do not want to see you guys taking away from something else and substituting this in. That's not the point of this. The
Understood.
script is the script. A71, paycheck, funeral, accidental. We're keeping that the same. This stuff is in addition to. So if you're gonna bring out your sales tactics, you need to add it. Because obviously our script is very advisory. This is gonna be a sales move that you're gonna pull because
Yeah.
you're gonna add it. So do you want to do what 99% of people do, Nick, and make sure their kids are protected from worst case scenario for an extra $4 a month, or did you want to leave it off?
I'll leave it on.
Leave it on? Okay,
Yeah.
boom, 48 ALP per kid. Do that to 2 kids, you just made $50. And all you did was click 3 buttons. $50 extra dollars, okay? So here's where you do it. C1, whole life.
10
I
grand.
do 15,000 usually, but you can do it whatever. 10 or 15. If you do more than 15, the parent has to have double the coverage on themselves or it'll decline. So that's why I just rule of thumb do 15.
And it's a double coverage permanent, not term, right?
That's a really good question. I think it's actually overall though. But if they have a term expiring soon, then that would affect it. So yeah, basically you want them to have permanent.
What is the GIO?
GIO is guaranteed insurability option, which I always do for the same amount that I wrote the Head Start for, which means they can add that same amount 5 more times throughout the child's life without any medical evaluation. So Colton, let me ask you, if something happened to your daughter and she was diagnosed with a really horrible condition in her teenage years, wouldn't it be nice that she can add 15,000 additional 5 more times throughout her life, regardless of the fact she wouldn't have been able to qualify otherwise because you're doing this now?
Yeah.
That would be really nice. Okay, great. So she'll be able to add that $75,000 extra even if she's terminally ill, because you did this. That's the guaranteed insurability.
So out there you have 15 on the face amount for the primary.
Yep.
And then you 15 for the minor as well.
Yeah,
Correct.
and 15 on the
Wouldn't that be
GIO.
75?
No, 15,000 is the max you can do before the parents has to be double.
Okay, got you.
So if you do more than 15, then you're dealing with the technicalities,
Sure.
right, Gabe? You tried that once, it didn't work. You got declined.
Ouch.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to write the
So
100,000.
whole life, 15,000, GIO, TIR. TIR is free. It's if they're terminally ill. GIO is guaranteed insurability option. When you scroll over it, it even tells you. Okay? And then the other thing is the child rider, which is under here. If you click C,
You have to rewrite the coverage.
it's gonna take a second because I.
Started the other one.
Here we go. You click child, and it's max 10,000. This is not permanent. So if you've been telling people that they have a whole life for their kids, and you're doing it over here, then you've lied to your clients. So make sure you're not saying that. It's a term. It's child term rider. When you scroll over it, it'll even say children's term rider.
Good. At least I've been doing it in the right place.
But the right side is the whole life.
The right side is the whole life. The child term rider is $6.25 for 10,000 in coverage for an unlimited number of kids.
Right.
Whether it's 1, 2, or 10.
Yeah, but
Nice.
once it pays out once, then
Once it
all
pays
all
out
the other
once,
kids can't.
all the other kids are uncovered, because it's not an individual policy, it's a blanket policy. And then number 2, it's not guaranteed insurable, so they cannot add coverage to it. They can convert it to 15, but then they have to re-qualify at their attained age for the rest. Yes, sir.
Can they only convert it once because it's only a single rider, just like you're talking about?
Yes,
it
so
can only be
one
converted for
conversion
one
at
child.
18 and that's it. If
Only
they don't
one.
take it at 18, it's gone.
But if they have 10 kids, they can only convert it for one of their children. If they can only pay out for one of their children.
Good question. Once the first kid turns 18, that's that.
I got you.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So, alright. So this is a child rider. This is a Head Start. You guys see?
Yep.
See where I
What's
highlighted?
the child rider, what's the Head Start?
That's
Child
it.
rider is
Rider.
term.
And the other
Can
And
one.
someone
last-
repeat it to Jordan that was listening?
And then the right is the Head Start.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, so Nick, what's a child rider?
Child rider is term that ends when the first or the oldest turns 18. Correct?
Yes.
And it can be converted to whole life when that oldest child turns 18.
One time only, shelter.
Yeah, so to rephrase, it's term until 18. It doesn't fall off for every child when the oldest one turns 18, but it does if they convert one or if there's a death claim on any of the kids.
Okay.
You're really not writing it unless they have a lot of kids and it's a money problem and you're trying to keep it cheap for the.
So if you go for the additional coverage on the kids, you notice over here, writing Austin's kid was $10 a month. So if they have 6 kids and you try for $60, $60 in Head Starts,
Yeah.
and they don't take it, you could say, great, we actually have another option. What we're
Head
gonna
Start.
do for you, don't ask, make the decision. What we're gonna do for you is protect all 10 of your kids for $6 total. The only thing is that it expires when they turn 18. I'm gonna do you a favor and add that on there.
Okay.
Nice.
Boom.
How would they go
You
about-
make $36.50 by doing that.
How would they go about changing and converting it?
They would have to fill out paperwork when the kid's 18.
Okay.
Home office, there's a conversion paper that, it's on our agency resource center online.
Okay, would there be any reason to do both?
No.
Okay.
I've never written a child rider in my career, just for the record, but,
Really?
yeah. I only do Head Starts personally, but
Even
everyone's
like-
different. You know, child rider, since it's term, it's gonna pay less too, and it's gonna be less ALP anyways, so it'll pay you a little bit less. And the client's not getting it permanently, so it's a lose-lose situation. You lose and they lose, so just write whole life for them.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay? Any other questions on that?
Nope.
Alright. Other thing for basic EApp, this is always yes. This is always no. This is always gotta be yes too, or else they're probably not gonna qualify. If they're not a citizen, what do they need?
Social Security card.
Social Security, which they didn't have because that popped up the addendum. So what, they need to have a bank, a U.S. bank account, and a driver's license, not just an ID.
It could be a Mexican passport. If you have to do one of the, the third option could be either a bank account.
It's a bank account and a driver's license, or an ITIN, or a visa or a green card. I mean. No, it's or. It's a green card or an ITIN or a driver's license and a bank account.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
They have a visa or whatever, they have a license though, right?
Not necessarily.
So,
They could be residents and get a license. It's because they've been here
The
for so long.
Incredible
There's a,
Caramel.
but again, like if they say no to the citizen, they could also have a social security number and not be a citizen.
well, here's the thing though.
So there's a lot of contingencies there. What's
So
up?
to get full coverage, they have to have an alien registration card,
Uh-huh.
or they have to have an unexpired
Which is a green
employment
card.
authorization document. Okay,
Or a
those two
visa.
can give them full coverage, but if you choose the third option, which is other, then they have to have a valid ID. It can be any ID like a driver's license, or it can be other than the U.S. driver's license, like a passport. But they have to have a bank account and a valid tax ID as well. But if you do the third option, which is other, they can only get up to $50,000 for the whole life. They can't get ADB, they can't get A71, they can't get paycheck protection or waiver of premium.
Thank you. I didn't know
That's
that last
good
part.
info.
Yeah.
It's really good info.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And I know we're getting into booking here, so I want to wrap this
Sorry.
up. But social security number is not required to move on, and if you get to the next step of your EApp without it, it's going to ask for a residency questionnaire, and that's going to tell you that you forgot the social or said no to their citizenship.
Right.
Yes.
So if they have more than 3 kids, you go to page
I
3.
said no to one.
Yes.
Threw it in there.
If they have more than 3 kids, you go to page 3.
And you want to do this before you do any of the actual policy info, right?
Yeah, because
Right.
you can tell mine was even slow. If you want to get all the kids entered in first.
Okay.
But you do want to try and get an idea of what the kids are going to cost for their Head Starts before you enter them all in, and
Yeah, for
figure it
sure.
out, then have to delete them all. Because now you're just talking about a huge delay.
Redundancy.
All right, so
That's when you
just
throw the
basic
rider on.
EApp, Austin, anything I'm forgetting?
No.
You want to go sequentially, so you always go to the top. You type in referral, REF, the name, tab, 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 tab. I don't do this.
Tap the entire application.
Right.
And then when you're on the questionnaire, you're doing signatures, you can hit tab 3 times and it goes right to the signature, so you don't have to scroll down.
Yep.
You can hit tab and space through the entire thing.
I don't get the social right here personally. I'm gonna tell you guys how I do mine. So I tab here, I skip.
Is there a reason?
Because it's their information, they want to be more.
Yeah, I'm
trust.
gonna get them. I've gotten one rebuttal in my whole career for a social, doing it the way I do it. So when I've heard people say that people won't give it to them, so I don't know if this is why or not. But I just don't get the social or the bank account until the very end. Those are the last 2 things I'm gonna get. But I'm gonna do them separate. I'm gonna get the social first, and I know once I get the social with no rebuttal, I'm in.
So I got a question on number 5 on occupation. Like I was trying to put like a store manager or something,
Uh-huh.
and it would every time I hit tab, it would just disappear. Is there a reason?
Yeah, you can.
You
Once in a
gotta-
while, that one glitches a little.
Yeah, so you gotta make sure when you do it, click off of
Yeah,
it.
click off.
Another thing is too.
Click off it, okay, cause I hit tab and it
Since it just
disappeared.
scroll down, if you type something and then you scroll down with like, on your keypad and that's still selected, even if it's not dropped down like that, it can still fuck it up. And
Correct.
It'll just put it on like retired or disabled.
What do we put if they're a stay-at-home mom? Do we put unemployed?
Homemaker.
We put homemaker. Why?
Because
Because being unemployed means that there's like a reason that they're unemployed.
unemployed normally means there's some medical questions that are the reason why they're
And you'll
unemployed.
get a mod and you won't get paid on it and you have to answer it and they'll have to go on.
Okay, so correct. So it's okay to be a stay-at-home mom. but
Domestic
when you say
engineer.
unemployed, they're gonna look into it, which is gonna create a delay in the policy being issued.
I put domestic
I always
engineer.
put stay home.
Domestic engineer.
Makes them laugh.
If they're not employed right now, but they're typically employed, put their previous employer or their industry they're in. If they're just between jobs, because again, it's gonna create a question. Then you go here, you do address. Do we have to do emails or can we click NA?
Always email,
Always,
always.
I always put
Only if
them
they
in
don't
there.
have it.
Email. Always.
no matter what.
Even if it's no email at email.com.
No,
Well,
I
you can
haven't
make
seen
them
it
an
yet.
email if they're old, but there has to be an email, or you use their kid's email. And then guess what you do? Tip. They don't have an email. You make them call their daughter. What did you just do?
Fucking
Put the
no.
daughter in the home.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way ever to do that. Congratulations, bro.
Hey, Andrew! Let's go!
We need to get this guy a suit. Alright.
Suit on.
Alright.
Alright, so we got.
Congrats, man.
Good job, man.
Michael, one more time, how do you access the info in the user policies? Where is it on the hour power?
It's
On the hour power, yeah.
Okay.
So when you'll be able
Other-
to click
other
it, it'll show what it pays out.
So what happens if you hit NA on the
You
email?
said to click that they don't have an email.
Yeah, but
If you hit NA,
It'll let you do it, but it's not gonna go through. It could no PRD or no advance. You do want to
Make it up and stick it in.
Michael.
just
Yeah.
put
the
just
same
make 'em
phone
an
number
email.
twice.
Make them an email or get their kids to do it.
It's kind of just separate, but I was asking.
form of contact,
Do you ever do life paid up at 65?
Yeah.
they're young.
I want that.
Yeah, if they're like under.
So say what's
If
the
they're,
cutoff?
if they're under 28, you do it?
Yeah, usually. Yeah, rule of thumb. I usually
How
say-
expensive is it usually?
Well,
Like
for
$5
Austin,
bucks?
let's just see.
It's like $5.
1980 for Austin to pay till 100, or 2197 for him to pay till 65. So it's what's best for him in this case.
Yeah, wait, life.
If you're doing over 30,000 in coverage, do LPU. Okay. Other things. When you're doing account numbers, there's on the check, there's this weird little symbol-y thing, and then there's 4 numbers.
Yeah.
What's those 4 numbers?
Beginning of the,
The check number.
A check number. We do not put that on here or it'll invalid bank. So you do not put the check number on as a part of the account number. You guys know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
I always, after I type in the account, I'll copy it and tab and it'll do it again, paste.
Mhm.
So I have to re-ask them twice.
What if they
Well,
don't have a
you
check?
want to re-ask them twice.
I
Because
know,
if
you
they
wanna
don't
make
give you
a
a void
mistake.
check, you want to make sure they didn't make up a random number to you.
I usually take a picture of the check and hand it back to them.
Most people don't have checks.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I mean, I don't know
Right,
who you
never
guys are
asked.
seeing.
Yeah, not most.
My POS didn't have a
Yeah,
check.
I mean, I wouldn't say most. I have 500 people's checks in my file right now.
Yeah.
If they don't have a check though, you
They
just
do
say-
have
It's not a big
checks.
deal
I
if
have
they don't,
20-year-olds that have
Damn,
checks.
wow.
They come
So
with
they
their
just-
new
I'm
bank
learning
account.
so much.
But you're right, 50% of people don't have a check.
It's gonna be on your phone.
Yeah, so what do you do if that's the case?
So what you do is you
Log
get them
in.
to grab a bank
Online,
statement
or bank statement.
I know that happens too.
and you have to make them show it to you. Otherwise, they could just be reading random numbers off.
Sure.
No, they always have to look it up.
I get them to log into their account and you go to the last statement and then read off the statement.
Yeah, they go to their statement to find that information. Okay, their routing number you can typically look up on Google.
Yeah,
Just-
so hopefully
just
in the check, you
ask.
should clarify that is the actual
Yeah.
account number.
Yep. And I would still double check their routing because I tried to shortcut that with Wells Fargo, and they actually have a different routing number for some Wells Fargos here.
Well, no, it's if they've opened the account in a different state.
Or that.
So once you do
That's
one,
a
you'll
good-
use-
school.
There was a 503,
Another mini.
1268 or something that was opened here, and I looked
remnants
it up.
of
And it was
car
like a
wreck.
second. It was inside of a store, I think.
Yeah. What was the walk code there?
Remember how blessed I am. I'm walking.
Yeah.
Seriously.
All right, guys. To wrap this up, this is important because this happens like a lot. What is the rule with draft dates?
14 days after.
14 days after what?
Today.
From today. 14 days from today. Why?
We'll get drafted twice.
Okay, so look, here's the best way to see this. And Giles, you need this. This is a part you should watch. So if you type in the 30th of the month, it says that. Oh, you can't do the 30th. Sorry, it's the 1st to the 28th.
Yeah.
And we want to do it within 14 days. So say we do the 1st. That's 15 days from now. It's going to charge them now and on July 1st. It's telling you this right here.
Yep.
Based on your monthly draft, you will be drafted on 7/1. What happens if we select the 28th?
It's gonna say based off your monthly draft, you're gonna be drafted on 7/28.
Don't they get charged twice?
No.
So now they're going on the
It's telling them
28th.
when it's gonna charge the second time, right
Yes.
there.
You're still
The
gonna get
first one is
charged.
always within 3 to 5 days, and just by doing the 28th instead of the 1st, they're charged now and then July 28th. But if you try to do it on the 1st, it's now and then on the 1st.
Got it.
So you never put it within or outside of 14 days unless you set it up with them, and that needs to be commented on the app
Yep.
and in the notes after the submit, because quality's gonna look at it and say we can't push this through because the client's gonna get double charged, get pissed and cancel.
Exactly.
So it's to protect you
So you have to do it within 14 days.
within 14 days for draft dates.
And I've had families in the past say, well, I need it to be on the 2nd regardless, I don't have to worry about changing it afterwards, I'm down with paying twice in this next month. Like, okay, well, I just need to make sure that you're aware of that. Then they're like, well, I'm paying on this the rest of my life, another $50 isn't really giving me that big
Yeah.
a deal.
Correct.
So-
It shouldn't be a big deal, and sometimes they have disability or they have Social Security coming in on the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd of the month, and they really want it to be that date. That's fine, but I can assure you that you're gonna get a really rude phone call from them if you try and set it on the 1st and it's like the 7th of the month. They're gonna get charged 3 to 5 days after you leave, and then again on the 1st.